Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Club at 22, your Rangers podcast. I am your host this evening, Ryan Haymarch, and we are live on YouTube on this coronation weekend, which we'll all, I'm sure, be ready to enjoy, celebrate, and fly our flags in front of those who do not want to see the flags. So this evening, we're going to discuss all things Rangers and have a look at the Youth Cup final, which was played during the week. But more so would like to get involved and send some questions into the comments, and we'll get the guys to answer it. If it's anything to do with Scotia's only fans, I'm sorry we can't answer that on this channel, but I'm sure his DMs are open. We can get them sent in and answered for you in due course. Please like, share and subscribe to the podcast. We are over 4,000 subscribers now, which is it's unbelievable. When I joined this podcast, I didn't think for a second that we would get it to 4,000. So it's unbelievable, and we are very proud of that. So if you can just keep pushing us to the next level, we very much appreciate that. And I will now introduce you to the guys. Firstly, Alistair Pearson, who you are not on the network, I believe it yet. Ali, you've not got a phone.
I've got a phone.
Is that right?
Got my work phone, so I'm contactable on that phone. But my personal phone, Ryan, no, not at this point. Next week, hopefully, I should be back up and running. So I have missed everything in the group chat, and I don't even know what the agenda is tonight, to be fair. So I will just go with the flow and see what happens.
Yes, we'll go with the flow as the theme of the evening, Ali. I've been opening my heart to you all week and telling you how much I love you and how much I value you as a friend.
I was digging you.
And you were digging me. So, I won't open up again. I've embarrassed myself. Hopefully you don't get that phone back. Next is Scott Gemmell. Mate, I know you were a bit nervous last week. Are you nervous this week?
No, I'm not nervous. I'm actually, this week I've been pretty much scunnered. And you mentioned that that Youth Cup game, that kind of scunnered me more during the week. I thought I was kind of coming out of it. That sent me right back down. So hopefully tonight's chat can fully cheer me up before as you say, the King's coronation tomorrow.
Yes, King's coronation indeed, mate. We'll have a wee chat, but the Youth Cup final, I was the same, hoping to get a bit of happiness in my life, but unfortunately not to be. And last but not least, we may have a few problems with his mic, which is it's very rare, to be fair to him, but if we do, he might sub himself off and come back on and put in a better performance. Scott Carney, how are you this evening, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm not holding out much confidence here because...
Oh, no. It's a no.
Yeah. I'll be back, okay? I'll be back.
He will be back. Of course, we'll be back.
It's underwater there, isn't it?
Right, now the gaffer's away. Let the games begin, boys. What can we go up to?
Let's go X-ray.
Listen, we don't want to get this channel get banned, right? So keep it clean.
Yeah, I know. Aye. I do feel like getting up to something right enough, but no. We'll keep it professional. We'll keep the pod going and keep it together. Scott is having a few problems. I'm sure he'll get them resolved. That's why we were a minute or two late coming on. But I'm sure he'll be back on, and hopefully his mic is working. So, firstly on the agenda tonight, and we will keep it loose, and I do want you to get your comments in, and we'll see if we can take some questions tonight, is the Youth Cup final, which was played on Wednesday night. It was live on BBC, which I always enjoy. It was just a chance to look at some of the young players that we've maybe not seen and hopefully get a winning feeling back. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case. It was 6-5 to Celtic in an absolute goal fest. I'll come to you first, Scotia, because I know you did watch it along with me. I was putting a bit of banter in the chat, but there wasn't many bites. Saying I think I said I wanted Beale out or get Tav out or something. I think I was getting a bit of banter anyway. But unfortunately, we didn't win it. But I did enjoy it, mate. I thought it was a pretty decent game to watch.
Yeah, well, it was, and it wasn't for me because I turned it on when just as Celtic is equalised to make it 1 each, and then very quickly after that they make it 2-1. But that first half finishing 4 each, yeah, it was pretty entertaining even, should I say. But it was some really, really poor defensive displays in those goals that came about. Kind of what you tend to expect when it's like at that age group, that, you know, really some really decent attacking play, but equally the defensive side of the game, you can see that it still needs a wee bit of work on. Second half, yeah, again, looked good. Thought Lovelace was looking good. I mean, you probably want to talk about that. His first booking, I don't think it was a booking. more a penalty for me. That one, he get done for simulation, because I think he'd just get done for simulation before, and even that one, I don't think it wasn't like an out and out dive event, and to me it wasn't a dive at all. And then the one that he gets sent off for as well, again, I just think it's a bit of a poor decision in that one. But it's disappointing for the lads that they lost in that 6-5, because I think they were in control of the game up until Lovelace gets sent off, and then obviously for it to go to extra time, just playing against the 11 men, it was a wee bit too much for them, and a pitch of Hampden size, because it's absolutely gigantic, that pitch. So yeah, it wasn't an entertaining game, but not a great result in the end.
Yeah, it wasn't a great result then, but I did enjoy it. As you said, it was a goal fest. And there was a few boys who put in a performance. I totally agree with you about Zach Lovelace, and the bookings kind of blew my mind. But yeah, there was a couple of good performances in there, and kind of what you expect for a youth game. I think you expect that. When I go and see my boys' games, there's always like goal after goal, and just like scores are like 7-3 and 9-4 and that. So I don't mind that. Mr. Carney, I'm going to come and do a wee sound test with you. We're not feeling confident by the looks of your face. If we don't, we will hold it together. The boys were wanting to sidetrack this tonight. They were wanting to go up to mischief and bring the pod down a peg or two, and I said, no, we cannot do that. So how are you this evening? Are you any better?
No, I doubt it, mate. It probably sounds terrible, I would imagine. Sounds all right. Well, I don't know what's going on with my computer, because the comments aren't updating either. So everybody's comments aren't there.
Carney, I've got them up on the phone in my YouTube, and the comments are coming in that, but they're not coming in for us as we're recording it. So it's going brilliantly at the moment.
Honestly, I've got no idea what's going on.
It's a big weekend for this country with the coronation. I think there's a lot of pull on the internet. I think they're just not going to get a level of service because it's all on King Charles this weekend. So that's what I'm going to blame it on. It's King Charles' fault. But you sound all right, Carney. I don't think it's too bad, mate.
Well, if it sounds all right, I'll kick about. If it goes bad again, just tell me and I'll go. I don't want to annoy people.
I'll look to the bench and I'll see if I can get my Tondo off the bench for you. Don't know if you watch. We're talking about the Youth Cup final, and Rangers went down 6-5 to Celtic. Unfortunately, I did enjoy it. I think Scotia's the same. Enjoyed the game. There's a lot of goals in it. I don't know if you got to see any of it, mate. But if you did or didn't, give us your thoughts.
I watched the highlights last night, mate, and comical defending on both teams is an understatement, really. It was terrible defending by both teams. Entertaining for people that went to watch it, I suppose, yes. But, yeah, I mean, I thought there was good performances probably on both sides, to be honest. A few of their players looked quite decent. I know that's not the nicest thing to say, but a few of their players looked not bad as well. But, look... It's not a booking for me for him to get sent off. It just isn't. It just can't be. I mean, even the way that he falls, it was like he'd been a stuntman in a movie to be able to pull that one off. So no, I didn't get it. The referee kind of ruined the game at that point. However, I don't think Rangers should have been in the position that they were in the first place with that amount of goals conceded. A few really good goals though. I can't remember the boy's name. Who's number 9 up front? Scotia for Rangers.
Jack Roberts, was that?
Off the top.
Was it? Roberts? Roberts sounds about right, mate.
I think it was Jack Roberts. I
thought he looked really good. I thought he looked really good. But just a mad game of football, really. Just an absolutely crazy game of football. And unfortunately, we're on the losing end of it again. But the ref ruined it, really. The ref ruined it. It shouldn't have been. I mean, it's a penalty. It's just a penalty, and he's just decided to book him and to send him off. So, ridiculous refereeing decisions in Scotland to me. Who would have thought that would ever have happened?
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see it's consistent and it's going through all levels of football in Scotland. I think that's the good thing about it. Scotia, I don't know if there's any chat in the comments. Again, unfortunately, we're having a few technical difficulties. We can't get your comments on the screen, but please do send them in Scotia will read them out or write them down on a bit of paper and put them on the screen. We'll figure out something.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult to see them all fly in, Ryan, when it's on a wee small screen on my phone, because there are quite a lot. Sorry, everyone, that we're not able to see them as we're talking on our computers at the moment.
What a nightmare, man. Honestly, I can't figure this out at all.
Listen, people stick with us. I'm sure they will. Especially when I'm bringing in the star of the show here now, Alistair Pearson, who's going to give us his top-level analysis of this game during the week. Ali, did you watch the game and what did you think of the performance today and they catch your eye?
Well, I tuned in when it was 4 each, Ryan, so I missed probably the good part of the game. I tuned in just not that far off when Lovelace was slipped through, and it was a penalty for me. He's moving at pace as well, and he gets sent off. I didn't see his first booking. I think it was for simulation as well, which I didn't see. But second one, I thought that was very, very soft and ruined the game for me. As soon as Rangers went down to 10 men, they were done. And I watched the extra time. Celtic had all the ball, and it was difficult for them. But Lovelace, is he Lovelace? Scotia will know this one. Is he suspended for tomorrow? Does that count for tomorrow, or because he was sent off?
I don't think so. I don't think so, but it's not something that I looked into. Although I
remember Adam Devine gets sent off in a B team game, and he was suspended. So I wasn't sure whether, and I don't think Beale was asking his presser about it. So
because it's a B team game and it's kind of part of the SPFL league system. I think that was the difference. This is an under 18 game, so it's not the B team.
Yeah, okay. Maybe somebody in the comments will tell us. We just wait to see it.
I'm sure there'll be somebody that knows. My guess would be that it would count towards it, but just because I know what Scotia's saying in terms of if it was a B team, but I feel as if because it comes under Scottish football, it would count. You would think anyway, but obviously there's an insight into what Ali's team's going to be on Sunday. Obviously he wants to play Lovelace up front and try and get a penalty. And I'll put my tuppence worth in. It was a stonewaller all day, and Sean, whatever his name was, did not get that right. It was penalty to Rangers. I'll go on to the next subject.
Quickly,
just stick
Ryan, sorry,
go.
Just to cut across, CGM55 in the comments on YouTube on my phone is saying that Lovelace isn't suspended for the weekend. So
okay.
There you go. Carly's not having this on the comments on YouTube.
I hate it, mate. I don't know. I literally don't know what's going on. I'm like,
we not end it and restart it again. I know for audio, but
possibly, it would take me a couple of minutes to do that. But we could do that. Ignore me for a second, and I'll try and fix this.
Well, IT Club at 22 IT is on it, and we'll also have Jamie Law, admin, who is 24 hours a day. He'll be on it as well. Scotia, I'm just
going to remove myself in case I swear as well, because these things drive me up the wall, man. So I'll be back in a minute. Sorry, everybody. Dead professional this.
The gaffer's definitely got a bit OCD. I'm good with this. We'll just go with it. I wanted to talk about a referee who was interviewed on BBC. I don't know if you guys seen this or not. Yes, good. I'm glad you've seen it, Ali. I forgot you didn't have a phone, but I did text it on the chat. So Bobby Madden, former SPFL referee, was interviewed by BBC. I've not watched the full interview. I don't need to after seeing the question he was asked. But there was a clip going about, I don't know if it was last night or the night before, and he was asked in an interview by BBC Sport are you a Rangers fan, or were you ever a Rangers fan now? The relationship between Rangers and the BBC apparently is fine. Apparently the bridges have been built, but I don't think I've ever heard a referee have to answer, are you a Rangers fan? Now this all comes from the hysteria from the East End. They're about to win a treble, but they peddle this crazy, it's a euphoria of paranoia that referees are out to get them, and all referees are whatever you want to call them, but they're Rangers fans basically. Scotia, I was very disappointed in the BBC that they asked this question and put it up on social media, but I think it's very agenda driven. Have you seen it, and what did you think of it?
Yeah, I've seen the clip that you mentioned, but I'm like yourself that I've not sat down and watched the full interview. Now, the reason I haven't sat down and watched the full interview is I think someone in the comments in here is saying that it was on at half-time during that Youth Cup final, but I would change the channels to stick on another game of football that was on just to see what was happening there. But the reason I didn't click on it is because it's like clickbait stuff, so they're doing it out to get a reaction, potentially trying to be funny about it, but it didn't really come across as funny to me. It seemed it's just a strange question. You know the kind of narrative up here in Scotland with these kind of things that, oh, what team do you support and things like that. It doesn't bother me, but you know, like, more as it goes to more and more people, it suddenly seems to become this kind of issue. It's just very poor. And I don't know who it was, but I seen, as I was flicking through Twitter today, there was an interview with a referee, and I don't know, it could be any country in the world. I think it was a Spanish or a Italian speaking country, potentially in Spain or Italy or South America, probably. But they were talking, and it was the referee explaining why he hadn't given a handball, because of the way the ball had hit his sleeve as well as his lower bicep, so it wasn't a penalty. Fully explaining it. And like, that's the kind of things I want to see in Scotland more often. We don't really get it. I know they brought out Ref Watch that they do on like sports scene and stuff the end of the week, but again, it's better that they're trying to explain things, but I don't watch sports scene anymore. It's because it's dire, it's drivel. So it'd be better if we could get these interactions more after, even like see when games are on Sky Sports, if there's a contentious decision, being able to hear the referee. And one of the things that always kind of gets levelled is, see if we could get the referees mic'd up like they are in rugby.
Yeah.
You know, that could potentially be a step forward as well, because it explains why the referee's made the decision that he has, and it removes all the kind of conspiracy theories that funnel up after bad decisions, or decisions you believe are bad, get made.
Conspiracy theories, what are you on about, Social? I think Scotland could lead the way with it if they went to get referees mic'd up. In terms of interviews after the game, I don't know if they feel that their salaries would justify having to stand in front of a press and justify their decisions, or whether they've made mistakes or not, or put their hands up. I don't know how that would work. But I just worry that stupid things like this with the BBC, and they know what they're doing. I don't mind saying that because I don't work with them anymore, but they know what they're doing. It is agenda driven. They know they're feeding the nutcases that are out there on social media and such like. But I just worry that it's detrimental to referees who are people who are wanting to get involved and wanting to be part of SFA and be a referee, because why would you, if you're, one of the questions you might get asked is, and I know they have to kind of have a discussion before they get a licence, but if you're getting asked, are you a Rangers fan? There's no consistency to that. I've never heard anyone getting asked if they're a Celtic fan, an Aberdeen fan, a Hearts fan. It's a very, very strange thing for the BBC to put out, and I just found it really disappointing. Mr. Carney, I hope you've got sound, and I'm glad to see you. Was that three times you've been to the toilet since this started?
Right, so the only thing that we can do just now to make this work, and again, it's if everybody's okay with it, we'll finish here and we'll go to a new stream. So you have to come off this video that you're currently watching on YouTube, and there'll be another one that's called Take Two for tonight. It'll be Take Two at the end. That's the only way I can think. It might not work. I don't know. If everybody's happy for us to do that, obviously the only reason I'm doing it as well, because we generally love to see your comments, and this is a bit hard to be able to do it all at kind of one time. So if you're cool with that, we'll finish right now, but give us like 2 minutes, and then we'll be live on the other stream. So there's another one already on YouTube, and we'll see you there. Thank you so much, everybody. This is a pain in the arse, I get it, but we'll see you very, very shortly. Thank you.